followed by the higher memory. And the third, lock the module in place. The next step is you need to install the motherboard into the case. This is the plate and we can see the stand-up screws. These screws used to hold the motherboard about 1/8 inches from the motherboard. And we use the smaller screws used to fasten the motherboard in. Then inspect the screws you use to tighten the board down. Next, installing the input-output connector in mouse. Since the connectors and mouse is already built into the motherboard, you don't have to do this. Next is hooking the motherboard to the case. With this, you will connect the motherboard up to the power supply and all various case connections. First, you have to connect the power to the motherboard. Then connect the CPU fan to the power, then steady the case connector. Next is to connect the HD LED. Power LED. The power switch. And the reset switch. Just like we did in floppy drive, we use slide the drive into the front of the CPU. And now we will screw it. Then next step, install the hard drive. Slide the hard drive into this available rake. Each will be inserted at the back of the case. It has no access to the front of the case. Screw the drive into the place. making sure not to force anything and the power connector face the back. After installing the drive, let us connect the IDE cable and floppy cable. First, the floppy cable, the red edge on pin 1. The floppy cable have a twist. You see the pin 1 on the motherboard and attach it. Make sure that it's tight and connect it to the floppy drive. If the cable is accidentally reversed, the drive won't damage. It will not just work properly. And now, connect the IDE cable to the motherboard for the hard disk. Locate also the pin 1. As you can see, the red edge and connect it to the pin 1. Make sure that it's tight and connect it to the hard disk. And lastly, the CD-ROM. And now, connect the IDE cable to the motherboard for the CD-ROM. The IDE for CD-ROM, locate again the pin 1 and connect it to the CD-ROM. And now, let us connect all the power cable. First, connect the power to the floppy drive. Second, to the hard disk. Last, to the CD-ROM. Double check your work. Since our video card is already built in, we don't need to connect it. And now, put the case cover. And now, your PC is ready to roll on for the first time. It is bare bone at this point and lacks a lot of the hardware you will eventually want to put in it. We recommend to keep the PC as simple as possible during initial setup and operating system installation. That's why we have stopped with only the video card installed. Hope you enjoy and learn more.
Well, that's all the email for help we have for this week. If you have tech questions, you can email us at www.techieworld@net25.com.
We can see the stand-up screws. Next that you are going to use and orient the memory module over it. The second step is to install the module. You have to install the lower memory followed by the higher memory. Just like we did in floppy drive, we use slide the drive into the front of the CPU.
Oh my God!
Minders.
Selecting the proper workspace for your computer. We use computer every day in our life.
for researching, social networking, and even for entertainment. Some of us